TLO, what's poppin'? We are on Twitch. We are live. But by the time you see this, we won't be. So just leave a like, comment, subscribe, turn on your post notification bells. Let's continue to grow the family from Chicago to the UK. Right behind me, because we don't know what's going to occur in this one. It's a warning, just in case it gets out of pocket. You've been warned. Don't forget, twitch.com is where you can catch any of the live streams, older live streams. We dropping frames. What's going on? What's happening? Pick it up. All right, there we go. Usernames at the bottom of the screen, man. Don't forget, we also got Patreon where we post 5 days a week. And we also got merch. Let's get into this, man. This is Broadmoor, the high security institution. This is a 2-part documentary. I'm almost positive they squeezed it into one because of the length of this video. We might break it up into 2. I ain't even gonna hold you. Talk to me though.
Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Non-profit, educational or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. No copyright infringement intended. All rights belong to their respective owners.
Talk to me.
Broadmoor is perched above the Berkshire village of Crowthorne.
Why is it so quiet though?
Just 40 miles from the centre of London. When people think of Broadmoor, they think of Ronnie Cray, Peter Sutcliffe, Robert Napper and Kenneth Erskine. Some of the most dangerous killers the country has ever known.
The public perceive this place as, oh, that's where the Yorkshire Ripper is locked up. That's Rachel McKell's killer's locked up. Broadmoor is an institution of lots of people, but not all rapists, paedophiles or murderers. There is people in here for self-harming in prison. There's people in here for burglary who then got ill in prison. And there's people in here for very, very evil things.
Well, listen, Frank, I understand what you're saying, but you're always, when you're in any type of institution, you as known as your most infamous person in there. So, I don't even know why you explaining this to me right now.
And the brushes with all the same brush, which they shouldn't do.
I hear you.
First built as a Victorian lunatic asylum for the criminally insane, today Broadmoor is an NHS hospital. Over its 150-year history, it's been a secretive and mysterious institution. Staff are under strict instructions not to discuss patients outside the hospital walls. Many won't even admit to work.
What do they mean, NHS hospital? Like, it's still like a prison though, right? Like,
Here.
Close family members know that obviously where we work. But if we're in a normal mainstream, then you would probably say you work in a hospital or something. We don't really talk about the place.
Listen, if you said that you worked in Broadmoor, you just spend the whole of the day or the afternoon with a barrage of questions about the place.
well, we all know now.
So it's just easier to say you work for the NHS.
They're told not to share personal information with the patients either, and to leave their private lives along with their possessions at the front door. Broadmoor's most notorious patients, like Peter Sutcliffe and Kenneth Erskine, have chosen not to participate.
Really? They had the option though?
But many of the men here have been front-page news and are vilified by society. This is the first time they've been allowed to tell their stories.
I've done everything from taking hostages, multiple hostage takings, stabbings, multiple assaults, violent assaults, fire setting. I set a fire in a hospital, psychiatric hospital, the first one I ever went to. Just mainly violence, and my history is mainly violence.
Broadmoor's 200 patients are all men suffering from mental disorders. They're classified as vulnerable adults and only those who have capacity to...
I'm not gonna lie to you, man. There was a listen, take this how you want to. I'm just telling y'all my story. I grew up like there was an Audi home where I had to walk by to go to school, and I used to run. I used to run by it, never walked, ran by it. I had real fear of that Audi home, and I don't know if it's always been an Audi home, but like, or it was. I think it was a psychiatric ward at first, and then they switched it to an Audi home, but I'm not sure. However it was, I was like 10, and I think I seen one person that wasn't right, and from that point on, I lightly jogged by it every day when I had to pass it, or just took a whole different route.
Give consent have been allowed to talk to us. Their faces have been blurred to protect their identities.
What do you like when you're not on medication?
I'm quite a nasty person. I'm quite violent, or very violent in most circumstances. Very antisocial. I don't like spending time with people. Paranoid. I'm not very paranoid. Every person is around me. I'm thinking what's their intention, and sometimes I come very close to attacking people because I'm thinking that they're going to do something to me, and I don't want to get hurt first. I remember one time without my medication, I spent, I think it was like 11 months locked in a cell, segregated, due to the fact that I was too dangerous to come out.
You know what? I be looking at people like that too, though, but maybe not to that extent. Not to the point where I feel like I'm gonna want to attack them before they attack me, because I don't, you know what I'm saying? But I be looking. I don't trust nobody. It's just like he like an extreme case. Is that what he's saying?
24-year-old Alex arrived at Broadmoor 7 months ago. He was serving a life sentence in a dedicated prison unit for highly dangerous prisoners. They could no longer manage him.
When I was younger, yeah, we chased the sea.
Excuse me?
He was serving a life sentence in a dedicated prison unit for highly dangerous prisoners. They could no longer manage him.
Well, here's the thing, though. But if you're in prison and you should be in a psychiatric ward, of course they can't handle you. I was shocked by that statement at first, but then I had to think, like, all prisoners are not supposed to be in prison. They're supposed to be in psychiatric wards, some of them. Some of them need mental help. So that makes sense.
When I was younger, yeah, we chased the seagull all around my council estate, right? With a box, because I had a broken...
Now on an admissions ward, he's been diagnosed with mental illness and personality disorder and put on medication. One of his symptoms is auditory hallucinations. He hears voices.
I was doing a fruit salad the other day for an assessment. I had to do this assessment for personal motor skills, is like for learning disability. And I was cutting a mango, and I've never used a sharp knife. In the 7 years I've been away, I've not used a sharp knife, and I was shaking. Literally, I've nearly cut my fingers off because the voices were telling me to attack the people in the room with the knife, and it was goading me into it. And I thought, I can't do that. So I managed to finish the fruit salad, and I felt, wow, like what an achievement. Because most probably a year ago, 2 years ago, I most would have done it, you know.
I haven't watched this before. Brody said he was cutting a fruit salad as an assessment test. Why would they do that type of? I mean, what was the goal of that? If he would have went and spazzed out and listened to the voices in his head, then what? You would have got the correct assessment, but at what risk?
No, it's dirty. Everywhere is dirty. I must. No. I'm dirty though.
No, we will clean it afterwards. But we want to give you bedding for now, yeah?
This is Cranfield, the intensive care ward, home to the hospital's most acute mentally ill patients.
I've watched a Broadmoor documentary before, but it was not this one. This is a brand new one. This came out like 2 weeks ago.
I'll put Dr. Dylan with me. Can we come in?
Can we come in and talk to you?
Sit on the bed for us, then.
Any contact with them has to be carefully planned and executed. This is a 6-person unlock. The door to this patient's room can only be opened with 6 staff present.
What are you, man? What are you, man?
There's always the risk of
This is not the right staff, though. There's 6 staff members here, but there's only like, I don't know how many I want to put. I don't want to put a number on it, but ain't enough people here that I would trust. If something went left, they would be able to handle what's happening. You know what I'm saying?
violence towards others. You have to accept that, they've got a chronic mental illness and they will be very disturbed throughout the day, but you have to learn to work with that. Our focus when working with these guys is actually telling them that they're here not because of the illness, they're here because of violence. And they'll only progress from here if there's a reduction in that violence. So that message, it might take time, but gradually over a period of time, it starts going through.
On this ward, even the most routine tasks run a risk of violence and involve a protocol. This patient has asked for a drink.
Hold on, man. Now, I do remember this dude from the other Broadmoor. Let me go look it up. Maybe we did do this. Let's just continue.
Shukran means thank you, right?
Because I could imagine, like, he's a long existing staff member. Like, he's going to be in documentaries if there's multiple ones out.
You told me all this. Right. I've got your pen here. If you go sit down, no, the one at the back, alright? You need some more? I've got a house here for you, okay?
No, I haven't seen this one.
Thank you.
He's just a staff member that's on them.
Life in Broadmoor can be a game of snakes and ladders, with patients moving between the hospital's 15 wards according to their mental state.
Outfit is mental. My fault.
Patients who are responding to treatment can progress to one of the hospital's assertive rehab wards, where they're given greater freedom.
Assertive rehab.
Daniel is one of 12 patients on this ward.
I've been here 5 years. Luckily, I never went to a high dependency ward. I came straight to a rehab. And to be honest, it's been, I wouldn't use the word wonderful because it's not wonderful, but I've been grateful basically to come here. In my spare time, I try and engage in artwork mostly. This was the my first
God damn! Brother, you got another career path. You like what?
real attempt at an actual portrait, all done completely in graphite. And then I moved.
Oh my God. Like, I was gonna say something when I seen these, cause this is hard. This, like, some of them are weird, but then Brody
all done completely in graphite.
Took us to the book, like.
And then I moved on to using charcoal.
This is
along
insane.
with, graphite. And the charcoal allows you to have so much more
depth
in the tonal quality. And then I did a self-portrait. The whole picture was a statement about when I got locked up.
Yeah, I can see this.
And I'm now 24. This is me at 24, but that's me.
This is amazing.
Back then, sort of thing.
Buddy is talented. I always wanted to draw. Like, I wish I could draw. And it's something you can, like, it's crazy. Drawing is a talent that you can obtain, I feel, with practice and more practice and more. It's not something you got to be naturally. My nephew can draw. He's really good at drawing. I'm always impressed. People that can draw real good and that can sing, you gonna off top impress me. Them is two impressive things.
Mental disorder is no respecter of class or education. Daniel was a 14-year-old boy at a mainstream school, and no one anticipated the violence of his attack in his own family. All of the men in Broadmoor present a grave and immediate risk to the public, and many have committed violent crimes, from arson to torture, rape, and murder. Unlike a prison sentence, they have no release date. I've been a bit of a conundrum for the psychologist, and I've had about 9 different diagnoses from 30 different doctors. I've had seminars about me done, I've had people wanting to write books about me, just because of the unusuality of
what you do,
my
fam?
offence and my age and what happened. I mean, my family are my saving grace, to be honest. You know, they're hugely supportive. And what's even more amazing is that my offence was actually orientated against my family, sort of thing. So the fact, and what a lot of people see is that when a family member has committed an offence against a family member, they often
cut you off, disown, yeah.
It's too much for the family, but they've told me that they swore they'd stay by me when I was christened, and they have, sort of thing, you know. They've always agreed I've had Asperger's. One of the problems
I think I know what he did, because I watched the other Broadmoor one. This is not the same one. I don't remember the dude's drawings. Ain't no way I would have remembered that.
I'm not very good at understanding emotions, or if I'm feeling something, I don't always understand what it is that I'm feeling. But if I can draw it, I can get out these angry feelings or these frustrations.
Wait. What's Asperger? Wait, is that what that is? Where you don't understand people? I swear, up until I was like 32, I couldn't understand nobody's feelings. I still really can't. Only like my daughter. So I be looking at people like, all right.
Of being locked up, or guilt, or remorse, and all these negative feelings, like I can channel through this imaginative artwork sort of thing. I've probably actually never said the words of what I've actually done. I've never admitted it.
Absolutely.
Because I still get flashbacks. It's mainly guilt. I still struggle to bring it to mind. It's still just a blur in my head, and I've done such a terrible thing. That's one of the things that I've got to come to terms with eventually, is that I've done this, it's happened, and it will be with me forever.
We're not allowed to reveal the details of Daniel's offence.
Okay. The only thing I was wondering about was I sort of get problems with fine motor control and spatial awareness, things like that. Like bumping into things and dropping things a lot.
As you say, it's not one of the most common signs.
Dr. Jose.
The opposite.
Daniel is taking medication and undergoing psychological therapy. These, together with everyday interaction with staff, are the cornerstones of the treatment here.
Have you noticed any benefit?
I don't really know what it is I'm looking for.
I have noticed a difference on you, not over the last 2 weeks, but certainly over the last 3 months. I think that you are much more able to spend longer time with people on one-to-one situations.
Broadmoor can feel like a ghost town. Patients can only move at certain times and in certain configurations, and cameras record where each patient is at any given moment.
Hello, Alpha, Alpha 2 to Newbury Therapy.
The control room ensures that incompatible patients do not collide.
They're far enough away now
because it can get sticky.
Patients who are well enough leave their wards to go to work, study, and even once a week go shopping.
Like what you mean by that? Like outside? Oh.
One gun, and then one gun for nothing. There's a shop or not?
Look like one of the little British shops I be going to, low key.
Shut up. You shut up. What's going on? You sure it's okay?
Angel delight.
The freedom to shop is a mixed blessing. One of the side effects of medication is increased appetite, and many patients are severely overweight. However normal it feels, the reminder of the threat of violence is ever present. Searches, looking for potential weapons, are carried out before any patient movement.
This is stuff that we've retrieved from patients. Okay, this is just what used to be a CD, and it's been broken up into shards. It can be used as a blade, even self-harming. In fact, we don't use the CDs here anymore. We've got spoons and forks that have been sharpened off on the edge. So a normal teaspoon, plastic spoon, which is quite innocent to you and I, has been fashioned off and can be used as a potential weapon to stab. And it's just an example of how vigilant we have to be with everyday items.
I remember in high school, they said I instigated this, but I don't recall. Somebody had gotten to an altercation with somebody and it turned physical. And I got called to the office talking about you were the main instigator. I was, man, if y'all don't get on some, I literally told my dean, like, bro, stop playing with me. Them two fought. That's it. You seen it on camera. Goodbye. Walked out. Like, what are you talking about? You gonna tell me I instigated it? What are you prove it? He knew he sounded stupid though. But anyway, the point of the story was he pulled out like a spoon. It wasn't even sharp. He was trying to, use it like in the manner that they be trying to use it. And it was just bending. It wasn't helping him. He still took that L. That's tough. Hey, listen, violence is not the answer. Talk it out, guys. Because the people that witness a fight, they remember it forever and recall it in reactions.
I've done a lot of self-harming, as you can see. Cut my own throat a couple of times. Cut my throat like 4 times, I think. Funny enough, part of it, I think it was about 5 weeks before I come out, I hung myself.
Hey!
And they had to do CPR on me in the cell, I was sexually abused when I was a child, and that had an effect on my behaviour, on my mental state. I couldn't sleep at night and all the rest of it. I was, basically everything you go through when you've had a traumatic situation like I did. I think as well that being here, I said to my mum, this feels like the best I've ever been in 10 years.
Patients that come here, they will have perpetrated often horrendous crimes, but they are also victims, and it is very easy to see somebody as either the perpetrator or the victim. It is much more difficult to understand that somebody might be both.
Patients from different wards meet at certain events.
First of all, thank you for giving up your time, because we know you could be doing other things and you have all different work streams and a lot of...
Today is a diversity workshop, and poet and lawyer Dave Nita is encouraging them to celebrate their different cultures.
Yeah, this is, I didn't see this.
But before that, we're going to have lunch.
But most of them
Come
are celebrating
for the free food?
lunch.
Bro was walking swiftly. Hold on. This would be me. I know. Cuz got up so quick. Like his pivot, his left, right, lateral quickness was crazy. Look.
But before that, we're going to have lunch.
Look.
But most of them
Woo!
are...
Hey, go back. This is NFL type energy. Rugby or something.
Before that, we're going to have lunch.
Center field. Look at this.
But most of them are celebrating lunch. With no
What they
alcohol or
got?
tobacco allowed, food is the only thing they have free reign over.
Look good. Okay, cuz, you supposed to pour some pop. Why would you grab the whole thing?
My mum's Italian and my dad's from a little island in Africa. And I like to say that being multicultural, it helps, and it's good. It's nice to be different, because different is what we need. We don't want everything the same. And that's it.
That's how I be trying to explain people who are the R word that don't like other people, that R word. I be trying to tell them, listen, if you had a box of crayons and they was all the same color, would you return it? Would you enjoy that box of crayons? No, you wouldn't. You want diversity. You know what I'm saying? So hey, apply it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, how did I end up in here? They said they had a spare bed, so I thought, well, I've been in children's homes, I've been in secure units, I've been in prison. The only place I haven't been is Broadmoor, so I thought I'd come along.
Now 26, Declan was put into care at the age of 9.
I remember the day my mum took me to this office. I was sat there on a chair, and next minute she just left. She went, "You're not coming with me." And the social worker come out and she went, "Oh, you got to come with me." I went to children's homes, foster homes. I kept running away because I got abused when I was in the children's home by the staff, sexually and physical. And I think it was like, no more.
God forbid, if I was to pass away from this earth right now, if my mom put my daughter in any type of home, I'm hunting her. I don't want it to happen because of the stuff like and that might sound extreme. God forbid, it will never happen. She would not do that, but I'm just giving it as an example of how against it I am. Like, okay, there's certain situations where it works out, but the numbers are staggering to the kids that come out worse. Like, I don't.
Was actually listened to me. I ran away to London. I was living on the streets. You know what I mean? I was living out of bins. Yeah, not nice, but when you're on the streets, you have to do that sometimes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, guys, this is called think, yeah? It goes like this. When you see a tramp out on the street, don't look down your nose so far, you see your own feet. When you see people homeless, don't reach for a broom. Consider if you have the means to give them a room.
My victim, me and my co-defendant, basically stabbed them up. The judge classed it under as torture.
As long as I know that I'm black and British and I'm proud of it, and that's me.
You say you've got a child?
Mm-hmm. Got a little boy, he's 7. He lives with his mum. Don't really see him, but I wouldn't expect children to come in a place like this.
And are you still on good terms with his mum?
Not really, no.
No cap, if I was to get locked up, another hypothetical, and I had to do some time, I would want my daughter to come see me. Because I want her to know that there are repercussions. There are punishments for actions. When you can't control your emotions, this is where you could end up. As gruesome as that is, to switch it to a life lesson. Now, this is a little bit different. This is a little psychiatric ward. I'm talking prison, though. But continue.
I started having a bit of a relationship with. So yeah, that was the first time I found out that I was sort of that way. For some reason, I've always wanted to be a woman. I think that's the way do you know what I mean? But in this place, you can't do that. They won't allow it.
And I just want to say that I'm gay and I'm proud of it. Thank you.
I want to be a drag queen. That's what I've done for a while.
What's she called?
Crystal.
And what's she look like?
Blonde and just fabulous.
We've come to Chepstow, a medium dependency ward where Lenny wants to show us his artwork.
You do it in your room?
Yeah, I do all my spare pens and waste pens and bits and pieces using.
I know I shouldn't, but I'm gonna compare, man. Camilla Davis, shout out thank you for the follow.
Cups with the shapes and bottle tops to draw out.
He's a little bit different type of art though, so you can't really compare
How long
this.
have you been here?
7 years this time around.
Is it not your first time?
Lenny.
No, it's the second time. What do you think of that one? That's the corridors in the ward that are shut down now.
Oh, that's still kind of cool. What is this? What do you consider this abstract art? What is?
So why are you considered a risk?
Because I think my particular offence was against a consultant psychiatrist. They call them Section 12 approved psychiatrists, and they're very powerful. Not like when you go to ordinary doctor. They work for the Home Office.
He's not happy with life in Broadmoor and tells us he's bringing a High Court case against the hospital.
Cost, I don't know how much. What was the last figure that they say it costs to keep us here every year? Is it £320,000 a year or something? Surely it's wrong to charge a fortune for people like us when it would be nowhere near the amount of settlers in the community.
It costs £300,000 a year to keep a patient in Broadmoor, almost 5 times the cost of keeping someone in prison.
Well, a lot more resources are being used, right?
Before Lenny came to Broadmoor, he was an outpatient at a psychiatric hospital where he threatened his psychiatrist with a machete.
Damn, Lenny.
Do you think you should be here? Or...
But do you think I sound like a babbling idiot? Because I think, well, no, I don't think I should be here. I think I should be sharing this of my life with other people. I want to share my life with other people. I want to be able to get up in the morning and decide when I have a shave, what I do when I do it, and be reasonably responsible for my behaviour, like everyone else out there. And I don't...
Lenny, listen. I hear you, but you also threatened a lady with a machete.
I don't think I'll be any more of a danger than whatever's already out there. And I will be honest with you, I am rude here. I could be really furious and angry. You become you're the patients, yeah? That is a term we use to separate you from the rest of society. We're the last thing on earth, this is the truth here, to be given what you call equal rights. What do you think? Do you agree or not? I'm not anti-people, I'm all for people.
Downstairs on the admissions ward, Alex is keen to progress.
I was 7 months I've been here to yesterday. 7 months yesterday. It's taking forever. Are you aware of any beds coming up soon?
His medication has stabilised him. He wants to move from admissions to an assertive rehab ward, where he'll have greater freedom.
That I don't know. You should know. You're a consultant on there.
Yes, I don't know the time scales because it's not quite within my control.
Back upstairs on Chepstow, Benson, the pat dog, has arrived for his weekly visit. Lenny's behaviour over the past few days is becoming a cause for concern. He's been increasingly manic and hyperactive, and his doctor feels he needs medication. Lenny refuses to take it, so it would have to be forcibly administered by injection.
Hang on.
Really?
Tell him to let go of me, not to touch me.
I don't want you to be at risk if you guys just...
Tell him not to touch me. This is wrong. You can play with us. I'm not fighting you. We don't want to fight you, just for your business. It's not for me, I'm an idiot. It is. Just wait. No, come on, you don't want to
Have you guys not locked it up? Guys, we really need to get this started. If you just mind, just please. Okay? All right.
At this point, staff tell us to leave the ward.
Yeah, you can't record this though.
We're told we can see Lenny the following day.
Neil, can we have a key, please? Make sure no one's anyone in there.
They got Xbox?
The day before, we were told to leave the ward when staff were about to forcibly inject Lenny with antipsychotic medication.
Anyone down there?
He's keen to explain what happened after we left.
Come this way. So I moved into here.
He leads us into the seclusion area.
Come in. Right, well, I was on here, and I was, first of all, I was like that way, and I was laying like this, right, and I was trying to say, please don't turn me over, because I'm not trying to fight you, and then they said, well, you're going to get it, and the next thing happened, they all came in, they twisted and turned me, I then made a deal with them on the bed, so I was like this, at one point, like that, all started holding me, I was like that, and I said, would you please let me go, and I'll get up. So I went like that, I said, okay, then I had to give me, so I went like that, stood like that, and I took down my pants and trousers and they stuck me there, that's it, and I came out again. That's what happened, but I didn't, what do you think? So what's your...
Is that what happened though?
Thinking about that.
But did you hit one of them?
Yeah, but that's because I've been chased off here.
One of the biggest areas of conflict between certainly doctor and patient is the issue of medication.
This is all sealed, right? It's stifling here sometimes.
One of the difficulties with psychotic disorders is your interpretation of reality is different from other people's. If you genuinely believe there's nothing wrong with you and you don't need any medication, why on earth would you want to take some of the medications that would be up for discussion?
Right, that makes sense.
Can we open this door, please?
He's particularly angry for two reasons. So one is he doesn't believe he'll benefit from the medication at all. Second reason is that he believes he's involved in a major high court case against the hospital to expose a range of malpractice, particularly in relation to him, but in general, about how these services are just really keeping people in jobs and don't provide any useful service.
The hospital's defence is just, he's with some of the most notorious people in the country. I'll show you.
He believes we've given him the medication purely to dull his mind and weaken his chances of being successful in that case. In fact, he's not currently involved in any legal action or court case.
No, you're not going in there, sorry, it's private. I can't even go, it's private.
That's scary. So when I like, that's like, so is he saying he's delusional? Is that what he's saying in so many words?
That's my mess. My mess. Hey, look, can you show mum? Yeah, look, that's my mum. That's my mum and me. She put it in black and white from the 60s. See it?
He's a man who spent a long time in institutional care. In previous settings, was frequently assaulted. He was violent himself on several occasions, but he was often assaulted.
Do you want a drink or anything? A cup of chills, like? Are you sure? Anything? Soft drink?
I ain't gonna lie. Oh, stop! Hold on, what happened? Yeah, nah. This is. Imagine being like wrongly diagnosed and sent here, like legitimately wrongly diagnosed and sent here. I'd be afraid. I don't mean to laugh. I laugh because I'm masking my fear, but I'd truly be afraid. I'd be more afraid to be here than in actual prison.
There are 11 other people, by the way. Thank you very much.
It's just too much uncertainty going on.
We just check to make sure all the shadows are covered. So they're checked the first thing in the morning. Again, before the patients go back.
Patients who are well enough to go to work can make goods, which go on sale to the public. They're paid 80 pence an hour.
80 pence an hour. What's the prices
Alex
in the
has
store?
been doing well and is now allowed off the admissions ward to come to work.
Everyone's saying, oh yeah, you're going to move. They said I would have moved by Thursday last week. Nothing's found out. I've been on to my psychiatrist saying, look, why am I still on an admission ward after 8 months when there's a bed for me on rehab? No?
Are you a bit frustrated?
Yeah, it is frustrating, but I'm just at the moment focusing. Next week I've got a visit. Mum and Dad are coming up for 2 days. So, you know, I'll spend some time with my family.
They have a saying here, there's time, and then there's Broadmoor time.
Which episode did you see last of EastEnders? About a week ago. Last night?
Last night, yeah.
Yeah, so what, did they show the man who was pretending to be Nick Cotton's son?
No, I didn't see it.
While medication can often control behaviour, extensive therapy is needed to change it, and that takes time.
I'm in the diary, okay?
Okay.
Estelle Moore is the hospital's lead psychologist. She's been here for 20 years.
Was that a movie that I was watching? Is that I think it's a movie where somebody was in jail in a psychiatric ward, and then he got free. He was freed, but like he got his therapist's address and information. That's a movie, right?
I would say just carry on with the violent offenders group. What finishes in December.
Okay, right then.
Patients undergo specific therapies depending on their offence, whether it's violence, sex offending, or fire setting.
Understanding relationships and borderlines. No, not borderlines, boundaries.
What did he do?
What sort of actions are safe and contained in relationships? The sorts of things that you would do that feel like normal and safe relationships?
Laughter.
Laughter is okay, so laughing.
Talking sensible. Feeling comfortable with each other.
Declan was found guilty of a life-threatening assault on a man.
Do I feel sorry for him? No. Will he do it again? No. No.
Wait, I'm sorry.
Missing the sun.
What did?
Declan was found guilty of a life-threatening assault on a man.
A life-threatening assault on a man.
Sorry for him? No. Will he do it again? No. No. I'm missing the sun. I'm missing surfing. You know what I mean?
Surfing? In the UK, they surf?
Lenny has been on antipsychotic medication for a few weeks. It's had time to build up in his system.
Now he's had the depot injection. The chemicals from that are slowing down his reaction to the point where he has those few more seconds to think, how am I going to reply to this? And he will reply in a much more manner to what you or I would reply to something. I could definitely empathise with them. He hasn't come from
I used to love ping pong,
but he has come from different parents to me.
Seems to be the case with so many.
Yeah, no, I'd agree with that. You can probably see, if you go back into the lives of most of our patients, you could probably identify them at 5, 6 years old and say, I'll be seeing you later on, and things like that.
Yeah,
well, that's a crazy thing to say.
One day he's going to tell the truth as well. My buddy, one day he's going to
As a staff member, I'd be scared for my life.
tell the truth as well.
But I guess you can't be like that, but still, I'd be...
Everyone is born with certain temperaments, with certain predispositions to certain behaviour. And if you've been given a triple whammy of genes, environment, upbringing, childhood adversity, substance misuse, all of those different aspects build up to make the person. And it's a long-term project of gradually putting somebody back together and making sure that they stay in that recovered state.
Things have finally changed for Alex. After 8 months, he's been moved to assertive rehab.
It's better over here, it's a lot better. Got a lot more freedom, key to your door, come out when you want, make hot drinks. Yeah, it's alright.
But it's not all good news. As so often in the past, he's in danger of self-harming. He's had to be put on eyesight observation, which means nurses have to take turns to watch him 24 hours a day.
My mental state hasn't been the best. It's not nice, you know, hearing voices and what have you, but, you know, just got to control it, that's all you can do, not let it get to you. Dr. Romero said I'm going to be here for a few years yet.
A few years?
A few years.
How do you feel about that?
I don't mind.
You don't mind?
I'm here for a reason.
All right.
To get better, innit? So that means I've got to stay a couple of years, then so be it. But I'm getting there now.
You're getting there.
I have a blip, but at least there was no violence.
Which is good. Which you should be proud of. At least it shows that you're making, you know, more progress.
Alex's mental state continued to deteriorate. After a couple of weeks on the ward, he did self-harm and had to be moved back to a high dependency ward.
See, Alex, you wasn't ready. That's why they was holding you there for so long. But I get it. You got a little antsy and you was ready to move around. But, you know, they knew what they was doing. You'll work. You'll get better, man.
Okay.
This is the Lenny.
On Chepstow ward, Dr. Larkin wants to discuss a recent incident involving Lenny and another doctor.
I was saying that I was really pleased.
That's what I'm saying, see? What happened, Lenny?
Incident involving Lenny and another doctor.
I was saying that I was really pleased that they're now starting to track and find paedophiles in our society, how pleased I was, and that they weren't just ordinary poor folk that were getting nicked, it was also people who were important who were getting found out. Okay. And I'm really pleased about that. And she felt threatened that I was saying it also included a couple of doctors that were nicked for paedophilia.
You're not angry with her about something in her report?
No, I wasn't angry with her. It wasn't directed towards her. It was directed towards the general idea of paedophilia, because you know I am a victim of paedophilia for 9 years under the Home Office when I was a child myself, and they've done nothing but bury that fact. Because though I'm an offender, I am an offender and admit that. I'm guilty of the crime that brought me to Broadmoor. I threatened to kill a Section 12 consultant psychiatrist, like you are, with a machete. But I'm not guilty of...
The way he coming off is crazy. He said, I am guilty of my crime. I threatened to psychiatrist like yourself. That is intimidating, sir.
Myself.
Well, I think the issue was that you felt nobody here was competent.
No, I was being tied up, right? Raped against my will, alcohol shoved down my throat, right? Pacified with all kinds of medicines that belong to that person, not me, so that I would be pliable and agree to having sex, which I didn't want to do. As a 5-6-year-old boy, like 9 years, I was in the system itself, seeing psychologists at the same time of being raped, and nobody did a single thing to help me. You're offering me therapy, and I'm not angry at you. I'm not angry at anybody. I'm angry at the people that did what they did to me. It was never recognised that I was a victim.
So, are we agreeing that you're going to meet with David about options for therapy for you as a victim?
Yeah, thank you very much, Dr. Larkin.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay.
Oh, I've got to keep, if I keep trouble free, if I keep out of trouble for 12 weeks, they'll let me work in the cafe.
Yes. You think you can do that?
Be hard, but I'll give it a try.
It's a long time, Lenny. I got faith in you.
The most challenging patients are housed here on Cranfield Ward. Any movement outside their rooms has to be carefully planned. Violence is always near the surface. Patients are allowed, one by one, in the yard for limited periods. A patient doesn't want to return to his room.
Okay.
He's gearing for a fight. Yeah. Well, let's get it started.
Did he tell you?
His primary nurse, Mo, has already given him an extra 30 minutes.
Why would you do that, Mo? You know what I'm saying? Give an inch, they take a mile. That's just natural human behavior. You know, sure, it's amped up here, but like...
It's a planned intervention to relocate him to his room because his presentation dictates that he could put up a fight.
He was in the other one I watched, but he was younger.
Yeah, very. Yeah.
He might have had hair.
It's quite threatening and verbally abusive at the minute. Yeah.
Mo puts on a camera to record the planned intervention in the event of any violence.
You said half an hour.
That means you got a lead there, Mo. You got the camera on, you got a lead.
You want to stay out here? I'm coming in. More time. Fuck off! Fuck off!
On the intensive care ward, staff are preparing to move a reluctant patient back to his room from the yard.
Fucking release me! Fucking release me, man!
I'm going home and we're leaving 6 people, so we need to go.
1, 2, 3, 5, 6. There's a lot of people to take.
Yeah, we'll take you down. Then 6 of us will take you down.
Yeah.
Shall we go? Because we need to go home.
Go home, then, innit? I'm not troubling you.
We need to be ready now because we are ready.
Yeah, turn around for us.
So turn around for us.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Let's feed that honey through there to me. Don't worry, we'll do exactly the same.
Sit back up.
Relax.
Relax.
Relax, hands inside.
You for the kick off?
Next hand to the back. Go on, bring it up. Nice, thank you.
Right, move.
The hospital has forbidden us from showing this restraint procedure, even with the patient disguised, on the grounds that he doesn't have capacity to consent. His voice has been replaced by an actor's.
So he
Well known for kicking staff, the patient is asked to remove his shoes. As predicted, he lashes out. The 8 staff members get the patient onto the floor for everyone's safety. They're outside his room. It's back on the floor and a final maneuver to get him safely through the door.
So why would they tell him to take his shoes off? Like, I be watching MMA fighters and they kick without their shoe and it hurts still. Unless he got steel-toe boots on, which wouldn't make sense.
We're gonna lift him up, okay? Stand. Stand.
Once in the room, the patient is placed on the bed, feet furthest from the door. Then one nurse will keep hold of his legs, another his arms, and a third his head. They let go and exit, one by one. The last to let go is holding his head and nearest to the door. Whenever force has to be used, staff take time out to reappraise.
Started being verbally abusive and threatening.
Are you okay?
Clenching his fist, swearing. The minute presenting that manner, you know he's gonna fight.
You know, you can't predict these things. We did our best to try and manage it. But the most important thing is that everybody is safe and the procedures were followed very well. And the patient himself.
He remind me of my friend's dad. Will said, "Here, let me talk to you."
Not harmful usually. Yeah. So that's it then, guys. Back to our jobs.
That's it.
That's
Good
how-
work.
That's
Good
it.
work, team.
Right.
On
I'm
average,
not gonna lie. I think I can make it through this whole hour and 30 minutes. This is. I think we've seen a version of this, but not this version because I don't remember a lot of this.
there are 5 physical assaults a week on staff,
I don't remember any of it.
including punching, kicking, throwing hot liquids, urine and feces. Some are serious enough to warrant the hospital pursuing criminal charges.
Does that happen to you a lot?
It's part of,
Can
you know,
be anyone at any time.
any time, you know. Obviously, you can see their state.
Just put a bit of water in
Their
there.
mental state is very unstable.
Oh, really unpredictable. Anyway, it was well managed.
Yeah.
Because at times you can get serious injuries.
So Mo, is every day like this for you?
Sorry?
Is every day like this for you?
Every other day. There are days when the ward will be very settled, the patients are quiet, will be in a happy mood, but not all the time because the mental state tends to subside a lot.
So you were right about him though, weren't you?
Yeah, of course. I am his primary nurse, so I know him. You know, you can tell, you can see it's coming. It's about knowing your patient, we know all of them.
So was he complaining about how many of you there were there? He was counting how many staff there were.
You knew that we are ready for action. You know, in as much as they are mentally ill, but they are not stupid.
Right.
Yeah. Some of them, they know exactly what they're doing. It's kind of like pre-planned that I'm gonna get them. And they'll look at the team to see, oh, I think this is a weak team. And then they'll go for it.
Yeah, go. Yeah.
patients like these on Cranfield can progress. They will eventually move on to other wards and, with time, even out of the hospital.
You watching football on Sunday? The finals? You watching it? We'll bring you out to the activity room so they can watch it live, yeah? Good man. I feel like, bro, outfit is too tight to be working this type of job. Like, it's too restrictive. You gotta be ready and willing to turn left or turn right without being afraid that a part of the stitching in your outfit is gonna rip. Like, I don't think that's an appropriate outfit. If you're a nurse, put some scrubs on. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't feel like that's an appropriate outfit. For some reason, it was never sitting right with me since I seen him earlier. And I was like, why? Bro got on a vest at work. Like, why?
Broadmoor, the world's most notorious high-secure psychiatric hospital, home to some of the country's most infamous offenders. For the first time, and after years of negotiation, Broadmoor has allowed our cameras in to meet its patients and show...
Okay, so that's part one we just seen. Okay. I'm trying to think if I should just record this in 2 parts, which I am. TLO, leave a like, comment, subscribe, turn on your post notification bells. Let me know by hitting that like button if you want part 2.